Let's try this again. Again, always take two. This time my iPhone was full. I hadn't deleted any of the videos I've been making for over a year now, so the entire storage of my phone was full. So I was talking about my organizational habits for Lego, and talking about right back to the beginning when Brian and my sister Terry and I had Lego sets together, the Lego collection together, in cardboard box in the house when we were growing up with parents. We didn't organize at all. When we built, we just had a big huge pile of brick, either on the floor or on top of the pool table. It wasn't until Brian went off to high school and quote unquote I inherited his Lego, and my sister stopped playing with Lego before she hit high school, that I inherited her Lego, that I started to sort. And back then the sorting was basically limited to separating the old pieces that we had together collectively, the basic pieces from all the basic sets that we got for Christmas and whatever birthdays, and my classic space sets that I started buying myself when I hit high school. So I had a box of basic pieces and I had a box of classic space pieces. And even when Jake, Pete, and I made the movie on top of the pool table, that's how my Lego collection was sorted. It wasn't until after high school, when I moved into the house with friends, that I really started more sorting. I went and got some Rubbermaid containers from Canadian Tire, and the transparent ones with the probably approximately 2 foot by 4 foot and 8 inches high, and I had 8 or 10 of those, and I had those for the longest time. And I sorted basically by color. Each tote had a specific color, and then sometimes I used Ziplocs inside to separate the cool pieces from the basic pieces. It wasn't until I moved out on, I lived up on my own when I was 19, when I was renting a place in Hamilton, and when I lived there, I started buying the 4-liter Chapman ice cream containers, the plastic containers. I started buying ice cream when I went grocery shopping, and butterscotch ripple to this day is still my favorite ice cream of all time. Chapman's butterscotch ripple. And I would polish off a container and I would rinse out the 4-liter container and use it to store Lego. The only issue with that is they're translucent, they're not transparent, so you didn't know what was inside. So you had to have a pretty good labeling structure on the actual container, and I just used masking tape and a marker. And those containers came with me over to this house when I moved in here 17 years ago. By then I started going to Canadian Tire and acquiring shelves, the shelves that look like they're basically built out of old skids, but they're cheap. They held Chapman containers pretty nicely, and it wasn't until Sandy, I met Sandy, we got married, she suggested that we use the Canadian Tire, I can't remember what they're called, Good Housekeeping storage units, the ones with the 3 big shelves at the bottom and the 2 smaller shelves on top. And we had purchased over a couple years 16 of those, because they're transparent. The actual shelves, the drawers are transparent, so you could see the bricks. And so that lined the entire back wall of our house, basically. This is the Lego room now, but out here is the rec room. I built this wall to separate the Lego from the rest of the basement, because before, this entire wall here going to the stairs had 16 of those shelving units, those drawer units, those storage plastic things. I can't remember what they're called. But they worked very well. The problem is that they were very, very rigid in their setup, big containers that can hold lots of different things, and so you're using a lot of different Ziplocs for sorting into the minutiae of whatever you wanted to sort. But you can see what you wanted, and we over the years acquired 16 of those. Then I started discovering the shoe boxes at Home Depot for $1 a piece. And that's what I finally decided. I might change in the future, but right now I've been using those for 15 years, 14, 15 years, and I absolutely adore them. The shoe boxes, they're $1 a piece. They're completely transparent. They're small enough where you don't have to sort through a lot of stuff when you put bricks, and they hold as many pieces as I need for any job that I might build in the near future. And as they say, the overflow, I mentioned in other videos, the overflow, if a bin gets too full, it just gets dumped into a couple big totes in the garage. And that's when you get down to each shoebox Home Depot shoebox is full of one specific type of brick, either 2x4, 2x3, 2x2 bricks, 1x2, 1x4, 1x6, 1x8. When those get full of one specific brick, one specific color, the overflow goes into 3 huge Rubbermaid totes I have in the garage, and I still am planning on doing something with those, like selling pieces out of them, but that's going to come at some point. But anyway, the shoe boxes are working, and then of course I had to go buy shelving to hold it. So when you buy those drawer units from Canadian Tire, wherever you get them from, the whole thing's in one big huge package. You don't have to get shelves. The drawers are built into these plastic holders of the shelves, and you can mix and match. So you can change big shelves for obviously big drawers for little drawers and all that stuff. It works perfectly fine. And as I said, it was along the entire wall. There is 2 stacks of 8, 8 stacks of 2, I should say. Not 2 stacks of 8, 8 stacks of 2. That worked very well, but I like the shoe boxes better because I can sort better, and I can bring like this, just bring it over here, and then I can build from it. So I like this better right now. And so with that, I decided to make a video of my room. So this is the actual room. It's 18 feet across. It's basically the entire back of the house. The laundry room's right here, and the furnace and the hot water heater. You don't have to put it in the diagram, but the hot water heater is right here. The furnace is right here. The laundry tub's over here. There's a wall here. This is the rec room. So I promised Sandy that, and she didn't ask me to, but I didn't want Lego to take over my life. I've seen some of my friends and quote-unquote acquaintances online here, where Lego is in every room of every location in the house, and it's gotten to the point where I'm not saying absurdity, because I can't say that about other people's and their collecting habits, because again, what you do, you. I'd never wanted my Lego collection to take over my house, and now it's our house, so there's no way I'm going to let the Lego collection take over our house. I want it to be manageable, because even this took me 17 or 15 years to get this organized. Now, again, I didn't focus on it all the time, but it gets tiring to sort and sort and sort and sort and sort. And then all the bins full, so I have the subsort. And so you balance the cost that you're putting into your sorting system. Again, each one of these squares is $1, right? But then you count how many of the little squares are on here, and you realize that you spent $200 on little plastic shoe boxes. So it's like that's, you know, and that's in this little room that's, again, 18 feet across. This part's only 5 feet here, because what I planned, and this is how I plan things. So our kid's growing up, and sooner or later he's not going to be wanting to be in the bedroom right next to mommy's and daddy's bedroom. So when he's a teenager, I had a bedroom in the basement when I became a teenager. My dad built a bedroom in the basement of the old house. First, my brother lived there when moved down there before he moved off to university, never came home again. And got his own place and lived on his own. And then when he left the house, I was in grade 10. When he went off to university, I moved down into the basement, into the room that Dad built in the basement. So this room, this is what I planned, because I wanted to keep a rec room as well with a TV in it. And it's like a place for Josh to play. And so he's not making a mess of the living room. So that's out here. This is a 3+1. Our house is now a 3+1. Now, I'm not going to go into code. But I do know code, and this is not to code a bedroom, because there's no secondary egress from the house, and that's code. You need a secondary egress. This window doesn't cut it. This is one of those old style windows in the basement that's only about 8 inches tall. So you're not escaping through that if there's a fire and you can't get up the stairs. So this is not officially going to be a bedroom. I don't think it'll ever be a bedroom, but I designed it just in case it wants to become a bedroom. So this is 8x8. This area here is 8x8. Again, this is a furnace room over here behind this wall here. This is the furnace room. This is where the hot water heater is. The furnace is right here. The laundry tubs are all down here. Not on the map, because it doesn't have to be on this map. I did not make a blueprint of the house. I just moved into the house. but I wanted to make a blueprint of the Lego room. So this wall separates, obviously, the rec room from the Lego room. Now I could have built this straight across like that, but then I'm taking 2 feet off the rec room. And the rec room is a nice size now by adding extra. And I didn't need it over here for the Lego room, as well as if it becomes a bedroom, the bed would be over here, right? And so the computer desk or whatever over here, over in the side, I put plugs in this room, lots of them when I built the room. And this would become a closet because I left enough room over here to the door to make this into a closet, should it become a room, a bona fide room. And then I could talk about changing that into a proper egress just in case something happens and make it the code. But that's not today. Today, and for the foreseeable future, this is the Lego room. And I am trying with all my might to keep every single Lego piece that I have in this room. And if it gets to the point where the Lego is encroaching onto the rest of the house, I'm gonna have to sober up and stop that. I don't want this Lego room I don't want my hobby to become my entire life. I don't want to become a hoarder of Lego. I met Crazy Lego Guy years ago when I put the ad in the paper, and I don't want to be that guy. I don't, honest to goodness, want to be that guy where he basically has to sell Lego for rent every month. And the entire place, every flat horizontal surface had Lego on it when I walked into his apartment. It just made me feel very, very uncomfortable. I remember that to this day. That's the one time in this hobby that I felt very, very, I mean, there's a few times I felt uncomfortable, which I won't dwell on right now. But that's one time I remember saying, I do not want to become that guy. Now, a lot of people think I have become that guy because just looking at this picture, it's looking up the Lego room. Let me see the whole thing. But I think it's manageable. If it gets any bigger, it becomes unmanageable. I mean, there's enough time in here just to try to keep it sorted and stuff. I don't want it to get any bigger. So I do have to come up with a plan. I've been in discussions with Sandy, what I plan on doing with the overflow and the extra. I keep on talking about trying to sell. I just never get to it. And I really have to stop procrastinating and actually do it. But that'll be a different topic. So about this Visio diagram. So you got the room and all the shelves are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because I added these 2 shelves just recently. There's used to be a table here for me to work on. This table was for building area, and this table was for me to work on as well. I got rid of this table because it just became a junk pile, and I put shelves in here, which again allowed me to add more Lego or more better organize the Lego that I currently had. And the original plan, this is what I've always had, was I was going to use the classic brick. Let's see if I can dig this out without making too much of a mess. I think it's on here. Not on this one. I mentioned it before. It's on this one. The original logo from the late 60s and early 70s. Because right now, off the top of my head, I can't remember what the color scheme was. And it used to be, well, black, white, red, blue, yellow, or yellow, red, blue. Anyway, as a fan, I should remember it, but I do not. So, c'est la vie. But that was the original intent. It's going to be black, white. I think it's blue, red, yellow. It doesn't matter. But that's what the original plan was. And then the gray would be everywhere else. That's not what happened because black became so prevalent that I had to have a whole shelf dedicated to it, and it wouldn't fit over here anymore. This was originally black, but this stuff you couldn't access because this thing here is this shelf part right here, and you can't get at it very well. So you can't put the shoe boxes there. So you miss out on a set of shoe boxes. So that's just storage, the stuff I can tuck into the corner. So black got this entire shelf by itself. And then beside it was my grays back in the day. White became a shelf basically to itself because I had so many of them. And it was actually the entire shelf until I started getting rid of the I had 2 or 3 2x4 brick bins here. So, and then 2 2x2 Lego bins. As soon as you start saying, I only need 1, then it freed things up for other things. And again, all those overflows got put into the garage, into the big totes. So this is white, red, yellow, blue. And the only reason why blue is here, which is right here, is because I sit here and I reach for blue all the time. So you know, and that's why I moved trans clear all the way over here, which is right here. So this is my trans clear here. It's just easy for me to grab. It really is. Or all the trans colors. So this is how I keep track. And again, all the bins are labeled. But this, when I put it in the Visio, I can say, like I have, I try to keep it like as organized as possible and as generic as possible. So you got 1x M plates, 1x M plates, 2x M plates, 2x M plates, 2x M plates, 4x M plates, and 6x M plates. Now, the 3 2x M plates are going to be sorted out into, like you see over here for black. You got 2x2 and 2x3 plates in one bin, 2x4 plates in the bin, 2x6 plates in the bin, 2x8 plus plates in the bin. So that's what's going to happen with the 2xNs for white if I ever start building in white. Right now I don't care to sort white more than they are because I don't use them a lot. So there's no need for me to sort out into the minutiae of specific bricks for overflow. But I do know that, you know, I should do that. Same with red. I have 2 2x plates for red. Only 1 for yellow. It's amazing how little yellow I have, considering that, you know, most of my yellow came from my childhood. And lots of blue, obviously. Not nearly as much as white or black or gray, but it is what it is. And then over here we got the Technic pieces, because I like to separate the Technic pieces from the actual colors, because like this is all black Technic pieces right here, right? And then I got the dark grays, dark blaze, yellow, white, blue, red. I mean, I could put them with their corresponding color, but I do build with Technic a lot, even though I'm not building with this color palette. So right now the Technic is sorted by itself over here. And then I have all these cute little bins that I get from the dollar store to hold the axles, the gears, all the smaller Technic pieces. And then I'm back over here with the minifigs. So this is all minifigs. This is all parts of minifigs, more parts of minifigs and stuff like that. And then again, this storage space here is because this corner here is covered by this shelf. So this a shoebox won't fit there. It doesn't fit in there, and it'd be hard to access if it did. So I just tuck stuff in there. Small sets and boxes that I still have, that I've acquired over the years that I'm not opening, that I don't care about. So they're tucked in here. Nobody sees them. I don't have to see them anymore. So they're in there. And then all my trans colored pieces are in here. And I have some blanks here, some space here that I can do stuff with. But my EL lights, my OBB CSL power adapters, my modding tools, which is not as like my pliers and my soldering iron and all that stuff that I use to mod Lego or, you know, run my lights. So you guys don't want to see that. Actually, I have to, it's off screen, so you don't want to see that. And then, so I have some space in here to tuck things in, but I don't want to buy more pieces. I want to sort what I have to fill in these voids. Because again, when I go looking for pieces, it's nice to have it more sorted than less sorted. But I do like the Visio, and even when I was putting it together, I realized that I wasn't keeping to my my standard of the plates, and then the 1x bricks, and then the 2x bricks, and then all the miscellaneous pieces over on this side, and realizing that I could reorganize my shelves better, and that was a lot of fun. And I tucked the odd colors in where I can. So this is dark blue, light blue, purple, silver, gold, light green, sand green, dark red, orange. Brown started becoming a thing, so I sorted out all my brown the other month. I never ever sorted brown before. So, and I'm colorblind, so I'm sure there's lots of non-brown pieces in there. Green is pretty sorted, standard green. And then a lot of off-color bins that I just kind of call off-color because I don't know what they are. They're sand blue, light yellow, just crazy pieces that I will hardly ever build with unless I get into, you know, more friends builds or whatever the kids are building these days. I'm such an 80s, I'm such a 70s and 80s builder. My style is 70s, 80s. My color palette is 70s, 80s. I focus on the original blue, yellow, red, white, and black, and sometimes gray, as Batman would say in the movie. it's the colors I can see, because me being colorblind is also very tough. But this all works for me, and so I just printed this off at work today. Thanks, work. But this is my Visio, and it's my latest version, and I like it, and I thought I'd show it off. So this is my Lego room. Not much else to say, so I'm going to stop this at the 20-minute mark, and I do have, I was going to say something terribly important, but I just slipped my mind, so it doesn't matter. I will talk to you guys soon. Stay safe, take care. I'm probably going to do a little more work around the house in the near future, so there might be less videos about the Lego room or the Lego hobby. We're going to be working in the trailer this weekend, we hope. We ordered some wood from Home Depot. Hopefully we'll get it tomorrow because everything's in lockdown. But we want to build our, we've gutted, if you look at some of the videos on my YouTube channel, we've gutted the interior of the trailer, and we're going to start rebuilding it from scratch, basically. I'm looking forward to that because I get to use power tools, so I will let you know if I keep all my fingers. I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody stay safe. Bye-bye.